What's up, DVU day 264. I was about to say 46. Tired. But today was good, man. Earlier today, I had to take care of some stuff with school. Over at Delgado, some financial things that they haven't figured out what to do. Typical Delgado, you know, kind of slow with that kind of stuff. But hey, got it worked out. Got the financial aid things all straightened out from last semester, and then found out today my transcripts got sent out to the school, to the NAIA, to my house, and somewhere else. I think I had to send them. So excited that got taken care of also. But after that, went and hit with my boy Wesley. Got a little work in. Been fixing him up lately, man. He it's real encouraging, real humbling to know that he wants to come to me when he wants help on his swing, and working on that, because he feels like I know some stuff about baseball. So it's exciting to think he thinks that in me. And so anyway, I enjoy helping him out. And we went out to over to the park by him again in Carrollton, and put the work in. It was very cold. I give him that. It was cold. And you can definitely tell the difference. I can tell he put the work in the couple days I didn't go hit with him. And so that's encouraging. Doing good, Wesley. And I wanted to take like 5 cuts out in the cold. It was freezing. And I know I'm not allowed to say this anymore because it's like 4 degrees in Michigan. So I can say I'm cold now, but when I get up there, I'm not allowed to say that it's cold in Louisiana. But man, I got my hands wrung on a wooden bat when I took one of the cuts. And those of you who play baseball or swung a wooden bat, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you get one capped or you fist one on a wooden bat, them things hurt, right? Imagine doing it in the cold weather today. My left hand was ringing for about a solid 10 minutes. It was terrible. It was so bad to where I think I didn't even take like another cut. I was like, that hurts too bad. I'm done. And I was wearing like thick, like cold gear type gloves I'll be wearing in Michigan. So I'm gonna have to try and get used to that. Maybe I'll just square the ball up every time. That'd be good. Just don't hit a bad ball. Just hit everyone good. That's the plan. But so anyway, after that, I got my own personal work and hitting in. Me and Izzy went to the Big Easy and swung the sticks. Was feeling so-so. Didn't feel like the swing was where it needed to be today. And just kind of kept pushing through it, trying to see, if I could just kind of get over that hump. Sometimes, when you're hitting, taking BP, if you're kind of going through a little rough patch during a round, you just kind of push through it and see if you can just kind of get over what it is you're messing up with, try and figure out what it is and correct it. And I was able to correct and know what I was doing wrong, and just couldn't really, put it into action at the moment. So I wasn't gonna take a 4th bucket and get worse. Just decided I put the work in enough for today. I'm gonna go at it tomorrow and figure it out. So kind of discouraged about that a little bit, but cheered up a little bit when I came home and watched the BCS game, which Florida State won. So boo, breaks the SEC streak. So it was a good game though. It was fun to watch. Just wish Auburn would have pulled it out. But anyway, so I got some verses for y'all tonight. It was pretty interesting. I actually did the DVU about 5 minutes ago, and did the verses. I had, like I said, we're doing the Proverbs today, and today's chapter 6. I actually read one of the verses in chapter 6. Had it read, picked out, and then I went on to the verse I was going to read, and did it all. And then at the end, when I was going to getting ready to upload the video, I just felt in my heart that, God didn't want me to read those verses. He wanted me to read a couple other ones. So actually, I went and looked in chapter 6 a little bit more and found a better verse that I prefer to talk about, Brian. And the verse I'm actually going to read I want to talk about, is another verse that I didn't have picked out either. So I just feel like maybe either God's speaking to me right now, or He needs to speak to one of y'all to hear these verses. So y'all listen up and check it out. But anyway, Proverb of the day. We're going to go today's the 6th, so chapter 6. We're going to read verses 1 through 3. Some good stuff here. It says, "My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, and if you have struck hands and pledged for another, if you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go humble yourself, press your plea with your neighbor." It's talking about, if you make a deal with somebody, right? Or if you say something, you have a security with one person, says your neighbor here. That's our fellow brothers and sisters. That's a man or woman we have a security with, we have a bond with, right? If we break that trust, if we break, the pledge we made with that person, if we're trapped by what we may have said, you get so many politicians, so many athletes today, they get stuck by things that they say. It may not be wrong, it may not be right, but it's because they said that. Say somebody said some gay slur, or a politician said some offensive word. They're trapped by what they said, right? And everybody wants to see what they're about to do. What are they going to, come have a press conference? What are they going to say? Well, God clearly is telling here what we should do in that situation. And if God's telling us what we should do in this situation, then that's always going to be the right answer, right? So here's all your answers, you politicians and athletes, for what you should do if you say something wrong that you shouldn't have said. It says, "Then do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands. Go, humble yourself, press your plea with your neighbor." So it's not only saying you should apologize, right, but it's saying you should go humble yourself. You should go to that person humbly, with a humble heart that's truly sorry for what you said or did. And you should press your plea with that person. And oftentimes people they'll go up on that podium and they'll say they're sorry, they'll say their little speech on how they think it was wrong what they said, but in reality they didn't go press a plea with that person they offended. For somebody to say something against somebody else, you need to go to that person and say you're sorry. You need to go to that person and make amends. You can't just do it over a podium and a microphone and say, "Yeah, this counts for everybody." Go make amends with your neighbor, it's saying. And so I kind of like that part of the verse a lot when it's talking about you need to go press your plea with your neighbor. Don't say go stand on the podium and say it to where he can hear it. Go press your plea with your neighbor. So I like that verse a lot in those verses. But the verse I wanted to speak on tonight, and I guess the guy wanted me to talk about even more because he changed it up on me, is Psalms 27 verse 1. Yeah, just verse 1. It says, "The Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom shall I be afraid?" That verse is a real strong verse because it's talking about, if God is the light of my salvation, if he's the one who truly lives freely and lives strongly in my life, and is the creator of the heaven and earth, and I believe that, who do I have to fear? Who out there can stand up against, him with me? Because he's not on the side, he's fighting right alongside me in this world. And the second part of the verse says, "The Lord is my stronghold of my life. Whom shall I be afraid?" God's telling us that we shouldn't fear anything. We shouldn't be afraid of anything. He doesn't give us a spirit of fear, because he's our salvation. He's our light of our world. He's our stronghold in our lives. So no matter what we're going through, we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't fear whatever we're doing, because he's right there alongside with us, our stronghold in our life. He's our strong tower, it says in another verse. So maybe y'all needed to hear that today. Maybe I needed to hear it. I don't think I needed to hear it today, but I guess one of y'all did. So whoever needed to hear that today, that one's for y'all via God, I guess. So anyway, y'all hit that like, share, subscribe, double tap buttons as usual. Share them DVUs. Let somebody else hear that verse, because obviously somebody needs to hear it. So DVU day 264. That's a wrap. Peace out. You get some sweet dreams. Night night.